Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome back to Hey Let's Practice. This is Brett. I'm helping you practice your way through the Hal Leonard guitar method. Today we are doing numbers 67 and 68 on page 32. And it's New Concept Day. We've done a lot of things recently regarding when we play, what we call rhythm. We've learned several note values. We've had a whole note, which we gave 4 beats. We've had a half note, which we gave 2. We had a dotted half note, which we gave 3. We have a quarter note, which we gave 1. Now we're going to subdivide the beat. We're not going to play necessarily whole numbers of beats now. If a whole note gets 4 beats, every time you cut the note value down to the next note value down, you cut the time in half. So if a whole note gets 4 beats, a half note gets half of 4, 2, a quarter note gets half of 2, 1, and an eighth note is going to get half of 1, or a half a beat, 2 notes per beat. We can also have eighth rests. Those will show up a little bit later. And this also affects how we count. Now, simply saying 1, 2, 3, 4 doesn't quite cut it because it doesn't take care of every note that we have. So we have to subdivide our count, not just the number of notes we play. So now we're going to add the word "and" in between the numbers, and we're going to end up with 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and so forth. Now, if we look at number 67, we have a measure of quarter notes where it's perfectly reasonable to say 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we have a measure of eighth notes where we would say 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So I'm just going to go ahead and play it real quick, and we'll talk about the pick direction in a second. But it would be like this. It would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Makes sense, right? Okay. I prefer, if you don't mind, this is the way I'm going to do it. When I count my quarter notes, I'm still going to say the ands. So when I do 67, I'm going to say 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. The reason for that is because if I'm reading a piece of music for a first time, I don't necessarily know when the eighth notes are going to be there. So I just subdivide all the time so that I'm ready, right? It also helps me keep a steady beat because it's really, really easy to rush. If I'm just saying 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, I can go faster. But if I'm thinking 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, that's going to help me keep a steady beat. Okay, let's talk about the pick direction. When we're playing quarter notes or half notes or whole notes, then we're generally doing what we call a downstroke, down. Okay, that is that sort of like upside down box looking notation. The V is an upstroke, then the hand's coming up. And generally speaking, when the note happens on the beat, we're going to have a downstroke. When the note happens on the upbeat or the and, it's going to be an upstroke. So you can say 1 and, or you could say down, up, and it's going to give you the same result. All right? Whichever way of analyzing the rhythm is easiest for you is totally fine. Just try to make sure that whatever you're doing, you can keep doing as the rhythms get more and more complex. All right? So I've already done 67 a couple of times, but let's do it together really quickly. Let's say the counts the way they're written. And let's go ahead and play our E. It's just an open E. We don't even need our left hand right now. My left hand's going to take a rest on my knee here. Okay, let's do it really, really slowly. Say the counts exactly as they're written. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Whoops. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Don't be surprised if you hit the wrong string a few times. Okay, very good. So easy enough, right? But let's try it this way. We're going to say 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and across the entire line, but we're only going to do the quarter notes in the first measure. All right, let's try that. Count every count, all 8 eighth notes, but play exactly what's written. Let's give it a shot. 1 and 2 and slowly go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then you're done. All right, easy enough. Now, that's the way I'm going to count number 68 when we get there. So the point is that I keep the count going in my head, and the basis of the count happens here, and then whatever rhythm I'm playing happens, and I just overlay it over the count that I'm already doing. And that will become useful as our rhythms get more and more complex. All right, so now let's take a look at 68. We're not going to say every single note because for the most part, let me just check it out real quick. Yeah, until the second to last measure, we have a single note for every measure. So the first measure has just open E's, right? Second measure has F's. Third measure has G's. Fourth measure has E's, right? Fifth measure is E again. Sixth measure is F's. And then the seventh measure goes G for 2 beats, then F for 2 beats, and then last measure we land on the E's again. Okay? So if we take a look at the first measure, it's going to go like this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. I hope that makes sense. I'll do the first 2 measures, and then we're going to do this really, really slowly. I'm just going to do the first 2 measures. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Okay, I hope that makes sense. So I'm counting 3 and 4 and, but I'm just holding on to the F. All right, now let's go really, really slowly through this. We're going to do it twice. The first time extremely slowly, the second time a little bit faster, and then you're going to find, in my experience with my students, the kids that subdivide every beat, the students, excuse me, I deal with mostly kids, but the students, shall we say, that subdivide every beat get things a little bit faster than the folks that insist on only counting what they see. Okay, let's give it a shot. Very slow. 1 and 2 and ready, go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1 and 2 and switch and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and we're done. Okay, now at first you're going to get a lot of help from the book with the pick direction, the downstroke signal, the downstroke notation or the upstroke notation. Eventually, if you just always think down, up, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and down, up, down, up, you'll get used to it pretty quickly, and you won't need that notation for very long. But this is going to take, like most new concepts, it's going to take a little bit of time to get used to. Let's go a little faster now, all right? Hopefully you did great on that last one. If you didn't, just keep practicing it until you do. All right, here we go. Good luck. Tiny bit faster. 1 and 2 and ready, go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 1 and 2, 3 and 4 Hope you did well with that. Again, if you're getting mixed up with pick direction, or you're playing eighth notes where there are quarter notes, or quarter notes where there are eighth notes, or anything like that, just do it a few more times and you'll get used to it. It's really not that, it's not terribly complicated, but it's new, and new things take a little bit of time to process. So good luck, have some fun with this, and on the next the next page, we're going to play some tunes. All right, see you in the next video. All right, bye-bye, folks.